Urban Media Today talks sports with Ray Porter Jr., Vince Butts, and Trevin A. Jones on Urban Media Today Radio.
It's game time!
Nobody.
It's Urban Media Today talking sports. I'm not even going to introduce everybody because Coach just started something. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get right into that conversation. Coach, repeat your question.
So my question is, what y'all call him? LeBron, LBJ? What you guys call him? Can he play
King
against
James.
Let me go against the Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers, the Boston Celtics,
Easy.
the Lakers, week in, week out, without no load management. Can he do that?
Erica. Get him, Erica.
I was going to say the same thing.
If he grew up during that time, he'd be tougher. And then when have you seen LeBron load manage? He might take a game, but that brother just came off of 82 games at this point. He don't miss games. He carries his team. So that part, I don't argue. Would he have the drive? But Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas couldn't pull LeBron James to the floor. That wouldn't happen.
No way.
Bill Lambert and them, they wouldn't have tried it with LeBron what they did with Jordan. They wouldn't have. And then you got to remember, I'm looking at LeBron right now. Even on his downside, he's still, to me, the best player in the league. But remember when he was at Miami, what Margo said, they just bounce off him. Remember that? Everybody's kind of looking at him now. LeBron in his prime, with that body, if he would have played at least a season in college, maybe under, you know what I mean? Got that discipline, because all that arguing is a lack of discipline. We weren't allowed to talk to refs or whatever. I hated all that. I hate it. But that's the only thing about him that I did not like, but they all do it. I don't think that's an issue of the era.
Erica, let me add this too.
Are there any teams? Sorry, Margo. Are there any teams right now that compare with those teams? Those Celtics teams, those Knicks teams, those Piston teams. Are there any teams in the league that compare to those teams?
Well, see, I think it goes back to the greatest of the time, meaning the era that you were in, the competition, you rise to the level of your competition. So if LeBron is in the air of that competition, the greatness rises to the level of the competition. So there may be other people in the league that would not rise to the level of their competition, but there's no doubt that LeBron James would rise to the level of his competition, just as Michael Jordan would rise to the level of his competition in this era. And he would fit his game to match the competition. That's just facts with greatness. Now, suspect people may not happen, but LeBron James, I'm trying to think, Kawhi Leonard, even Kevin Durant, I could see all of them playing in these other eras just because they have greatness. And like I said before, a lot of it's mindset.
And I agree.
Mindset with Kevin Durant because he don't like being touched. So I don't know.
Right.
I question Kevin Durant a little bit.
Right, Erica.
KD don't like being touched.
I just threw him in there.
But skill-wise, yeah. But as team-wise, I can't think of a team. Comparing our Warriors team to any of those teams, because the team defense was better to me, just as a team. What they were doing as teams was better. So I'm more of that era. It took an adjustment. Didn't y'all have to adjust to this era? Because it was disturbing. There are a lot of disturbing things we see. Just driving baseline and nobody touching you. I'm a big girl. I came from jamming all cutters. Not even if you driving. If you just trying to float through the lane, I had to hit you. Or I played Division II at Virginia State. That woman would sit you down if she saw somebody just come through. So
I would play that top of the key defense.
Remember, nobody was allowed
anybody picking up full court.
Lose it. Your coach will lose it. Now Steph Curry will just dribble through with his little self, come back around, and I'm thinking
we'd have hit him like 6
times. Touching him.
I think greatness transcends generations.
Exactly.
So
that's what I was trying to say.
Great players now, I think, would be able to succeed in different eras.
Yeah.
And you adjust to how the game is being played. You know, if LeBron grew up 30 years ago, he would have learned the style. Like, this is the style of play that this is how we play, and he would have been great in during those times. In terms of teams, I love watching Golden State play because of all the movement that they have. I think it's hard to say teams nowadays could compete during those times because the style of play is so different. The NBA changed. They asked as brutal as those games were 25, 30 years ago. They're just not allowing that style to play out now. But I think players will adjust, and great players will transcend that. They'll if I know people say players now are soft. They didn't have to play the way the game was played before. So to me, I give them the benefit of the doubt when you talk about the players that are head and shoulders above everybody else. When you talk about elite talent, those guys could have played in different eras and still been great in those other eras.
And you know what? We already have an example of that right in the documentary, The Last Dance. What did Michael Jordan have to do to compete against the Detroit Pistons? He had to do exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
He had to step his game up, get in the weight room, get tough, get a mental, get his mind right to deal with that, the Jordan rules and so on and so forth. So we already have that example. So I'm pretty sure if Jordan went through that, didn't he lose his first 6 years? They didn't win a championship right away.
Right.
So there was a level of
We're not gonna count
maturation that he had to
everything.
go through. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we're not going to count everything. And that's the one thing I don't like. Even when they talk about LeBron's championships, first of all, how do you criticize somebody for losing in the finals? Damian Lillard says some of us are 0 for 0 in the finals.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about
So I'm
that.
like, how do you criticize somebody? But those players, I think with LeBron, even with Jordan, there was a level of expectation, even if they didn't have teammates. You know what I mean?
Right. Good point.
Even if they didn't have, he came in with Orlando Woolridge but what
Reggie
impressed me,
Pierce.
this ain't the topic, but remember I didn't know how he broke his foot, rehabbed it himself at UNC, came back and pushed them even though they wanted to tank that year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in tanking.
Neither do I.
Right.
What about those Cavs
what
teams?
happened with that? What happened out in California this year? I don't agree with that tanking whatsoever. But I agree that great players, some would rise. I don't know how many during that time, though, Margo, do you think would have took what Jordan did and went to the weight room versus just accepting this is as far as we're going to get?
Only the great ones. Like,
I was going to say that.
Vince said, only LeBron James, people like that.
Yeah, only great. The key to that is great. So when people
Nobody
are
said nothing
talking
about Kobe.
Right.
Okay, Kobe would have for sure.
But Kobe was a beast. I mean, go ahead, Ray. I know you want to say something. You've been trying to say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just said, in reference to LeBron, and even those Cavs teams back 30 years ago, they weren't too bad. They weren't that bad. I mean, they just couldn't get past the Bulls, and they couldn't get past other teams. But how do you think LeBron would have done with a Brad Dorley and a young Ron Harper, Mark Price, and in that band of brothers of Cavaliers, them over the top?
And if LeBron would have came with,
maybe MJ wouldn't have beat them.
Man, what?
You wouldn't have got that shot off?
Nah. 'Cause
Elo.
Michael would have found another way to win. See, the great ones find another way to win. They don't even do
Yep.
one thing. They adapt. Go ahead, Keith.
Hey, Trav, I got a bone to pick with you too, man.
Here we go.
First of all, I keep looking at my man Ray Porter down below, and I keep saying a terrible towel, and I'm just wondering how come it's been like 12 days after the draft and we haven't talked about my Steelers and Chase Claypool and Alex
Your
Highsmith
Steelers?
and
That's 'cause
Anthony McFarland Jr. and
there you
Joe
go again
Burrow
with your
and the
Steelers.
Bengals.
And just like you enter a basketball conversation talking football. Go ahead.
I mean, you said it was a freelance conversation at the end. I mean, we can change gears a little bit. We got the terrible towel. We ain't talked about the Steelers in 2 weeks.
That's because we always talk about the Steelers. Almost every show, the
It's the
Steelers are
draft,
mentioned.
though. We fresh off the draft, baby.
I ain't trying to hear that noise
Chase
right now.
Claypool.
Next
We
week.
talking
You a hater,
greats in
man.
the NBA.
I'm really disappointed I don't have no popcorn right now.
When Bibby throw them bombs, I'm gonna laugh at y'all. I'm gonna laugh. It's cool. Hey, Ray Porter, it's cool. Don't worry. They gonna guess what? They don't know about Chase Claypool them now. They gonna get to know. They gonna get to know.
You talk about homers.
And put them
Give them no sound.
I'm calling for peace.
As they say, love,
That's
peace, and
good
chicken
stuff.
grease.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. That's good stuff, Keith. What we're gonna do to wrap up the show, since I totally lost control right there, we're gonna go around the room and real quick, just talk about what inspires you. It can be about sports, it just be about life. You got about a minute. Just go ahead and say what hit you this week, what stood out this week. Coach, this time we're gonna start with you.
Oh man, I was really interested to talk to Margo about her recruiting experience. I know Erica had a recruiting experience, so we missed that window. So maybe I could take a couple minutes to talk about recruiting.
Go ahead, let's go for it. Go ahead.
I'm always looking for the next best athlete. So can we talk a little bit about your recruiting experience? And I know it may resonate with you, but there's a lot of young athletes right now that are trying to figure it out. Basketball season was ripped from them, recruiting process ripped from them. All of the spring and summer jamborees are gone. And so I'm trying to encourage these young girls around the country to stay committed to the process because, the head is tripping right now.
Okay, so I can talk about mine real quick. I was not recruited, although I led the city league in scoring. And, I think I want to say I was like 5th in the Whippeal and the city league in scoring. Nobody ever came to a South Hills High School game. So
Wow.
I sent out my own letters to different colleges, sent out my own the 8mm tapes back in the day. I was pretty, self-motivated. And really what happened is the last game of my season, if you guys know the name, Edna Campbell played at Alderdice.
He was a monster.
There you go, one of my good friends. So I was a senior. I want to say she was either a sophomore or junior when I was a senior. But the coach from IUP came to watch her play. And at the end of the game, they were like, oh, wow, she's pretty good. So I ended up getting a scholarship to IUP because the coach was coming to watch Edna Campbell play, I believe, as a sophomore. So that's literally my recruiting experience. I had no other offers. And then I accepted the scholarship to IUP. I played my freshman year. And then that summer after my freshman year, I ended up being recruited by West Virginia, Pitt, Robert Morris, and Duquesne, all local schools after they watched me play in the summer league after that. But I ended up staying at IUP. So that's my recruiting experience back in 1985.
Wow.
Not to mention you're in the Hall of Fame at IUP right now, correct?
12.
Yeah, I was going to transfer to West Virginia to play with Dion Morris, but my coach at IUP was the former assistant coach at West Virginia, and she was like, you're not going to West Virginia, you're staying here with me, and sort of talked me into it, and I ended up staying at IUP. In hindsight, I almost wish I would have went to West Virginia and played with Dion Morris, but that's a whole other story.
Right. Well, that's dope. That's dope. So, Erica, let's talk about your recruiting experience.
I wasn't recruited either. City League basketball for girls wasn't, they weren't checking for us. I came out in 89 and I wanted to go to Pitt. Pitt was terrible. But, I wanted to go to Pitt because I was a big, Charles Smith, Jerome Lane fan.
There you go.
And I got an academic scholarship to Pitt. And when you said sending out letters and tapes, I went to Pitt and realized I had friends at HBCUs. Mm-hmm. My high school coach at the time, not Phyllis Jones, told me the HBCUs did not give scholarships. That was a lie.
Oh my God. That's a whole
my senior year, that's what I was told.
Listen, that's a whole show on how
on its own
coaches and counselors did African Americans in the 70s and 80s in terms of what their education could be. That's a whole show.
So I sent letters out to Virginia State, Howard, and Norfolk State because my mom said, I told you about my mama, I could go as far as Virginia. You're a young lady, because there wasn't no cell phones, no FaceTime. Remember all that stuff.
Right.
So coming out of Homewood, I sent out, Coach Jones helped me. They helped me put together a letter and a videotape, and I got callbacks from everybody. And I wound up choosing Virginia State just because I was told Norfolk State was dangerous area. You know, I was coming out.
Whatever. You
I
said
wound up
Norfolk
at
State.
Norfolk State,
like
but
that.
like Margo said, that's a whole different story. But I spent 2 years at Virginia State. Walked on and had to earn my scholarship just because of the misinformation that I was given. So right now, as far as recruiting, there is a former Westinghouse player. Margo, do you remember Tionda? She's a lot younger than us.
Tionda Jennings.
Yeah, because her daughter
absolutely.
just signed to play somewhere. So
Yeah, she's married to my friend. Wow.
yeah, maybe just
Y'all know Tionda.
another Lady Bulldog. You know, we got a long, rich history at Westinghouse.
Oh,
But her daughter just signed to play, I believe, somewhere, I believe in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
somewhere
that's where they live at.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
a lot of the city schools, a lot of city, you know, especially young girls, they just all get overlooked because misinformation. You know, the parents are not educated, coaches are not educated on what the options are. I mean, some of the kids, some of the student athletes don't even know some of the HBCUs are Division I. They just think, oh, well, it's you know, it's like some kind of like Paco League or something like that. But these, you know, my job, what I do at Playing for Envelopes, is educate the families. So if you ladies know girls that are young girls or families that need help in recruiting, you know, we'll connect.
I absolutely do. And let me just say this. I'm a referee. I officiate basketball. So I am, you know, have young girls in my presence all the time on the basketball court. And I think I'm a pretty good evaluator of talent. So I'm absolutely able to, you know, see and help out in that area.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Go ahead, Vince.
Mother's Day is this Sunday, and it is the 12th year that I've not celebrated with my own mother because she passed away. But that hasn't stopped me from celebrating Mother's Day every year. Moms are what make the world go round, and we would not be where we are. We wouldn't be able to function without them. So I want to thank them, all the nurturers, all the backbones of our families, even during these chaotic times. Find a way to hug your mom or thank her in some kind of way for all done. Happy Mother's Day to my mother-in-law, my wife, and all the other mother figures in my life who will continue to support me, support us, love us, share old memories, and celebrate new ones.
All right, Ray Porter Jr.
Yes, sir. Definitely in agreement with Vincent. I haven't celebrated Mother's Day with my mother since 1997. So she's definitely missed, but I can honestly say I'm grateful for my beautiful wife, Nicole, and happy Mother's Day to her and to my mother, and to all the mothers on here, happy Mother's Day as well. I also just wanted to say I've been enjoying The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. It's been excellent. I can't even say the word. Excellently done, artistically done, and I like the fact that they switch from two different eras. They'll start with '98, then they'll go back to '93. I think that's very good. So looking forward to Sunday. See, I believe that's episode 7 and 8. Should be good. So yes, I like it.
There was a report that came out the other day that my quarterback Ben Roethlisberger is allergic to working out. He only golfs, drinks beer, and yogas. That's BS because the last time I checked, his last full season, he threw for over 5,100 yards. He had 34 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, a 67% completion percentage, and a 97 quarterback rating. I'll take that any day because he's going to prove everybody wrong. He's our 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's coming, period.
Did he just take it back to the Steelers again? Dude, is that where we are?
Ray Porter,
Are we really back with the
Steelers? He got in my Steeler mode. Come on, man. It's contagious. It's contagious, baby.
All right, what you got, Margo?
Okay, so what this week I would say that the thing that I'm thinking about the most is something called the Run Across Haiti. And it's a run that's done every year in March. And obviously it was canceled this year because of the pandemic. And it's a 200-mile run. And because it's an organization called Work, that basically their goal is to help families in Haiti, lift them out of poverty and provide them with dignified jobs. And I sponsor a child in Haiti, and my school also sponsors a child in Haiti. So this week we launched something called the 200 Together campaign, where the month of May, you're supposed to do something of that's 200. It could be 200 jumping jacks, push-ups. It could be 200 minutes of playing the guitar, because that's what I've been doing. If y'all can see my guitar right there, but so it's called the 200 Together campaign. Feel free to join us during the month of May. The month of May, and do your 200. Mine is 200 miles on my bike. We'll see what happens.
Miss Erica Taylor, what you got?
I guess Mother's Day's been heavy on my mind as well. This will be my first without my mom. But they, I guess the best thing about this week for me was this actual podcast for a few reasons. For the petty reason of I didn't have to really fight for LeBron in this podcast, but it's just a great talk. And the thing that's probably motivating me the most, I am just most impressed is, as Ray said, I'm impressed with that Last Dance. First of all, I'm gonna need that soundtrack. Have y'all been paying attention to what they've been dropping when Jordan's
absolutely.
playing?
Absolutely. I'm bad from LL Cool J.
First of all, they need to put that together. So yeah, that's all that's really going on with me, trying to, I'm affected by, what's going on politically. I'm affected by, I think about different things, and I just don't want to be angry and be quarantined right now.
Right.
So my distraction right now is really the Last Dance, because it's like I gotta watch each episode at least twice to make sure I caught everything, I didn't miss something,
Right.
and then move on.
Nice.
So that's where I'm at.
Oh, I like it. I like it. First and foremost, I gotta say, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I truly appreciate all of them. I'm still blessed to have mine around. So you guys, even from this conversation tonight, once we get off here, I'm gonna call my moms because what you all are talking about is just makes me respect and appreciate her even more. So definitely happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. But that's it for Urban Media Today Talk Sports. We got Coach William Greg Hoy Jr., we got Ray Porter Jr., we got Keith Platt Jr., we got Vince Butts, we got Erica Taylor, and Margo Hinton. I appreciate you all being here. Happy Mother's Day. We'll see you all next weekend.
Urban Media Today talks sports every week on Urban Media Today Radio, where you can listen in on free music and podcasts on our SoundCloud station at Urban Media Today. And for more information, log on to urbanmediatoday.com, your lifestyle, entertainment, and sports blog website.
What type of games being played? How's it doing that? I get up, all right?